All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to demystify how you can protect your online privacy or, access global content without spending a single dime. Look, the internet is absolutely flooded with promises of free software. But as we all know, free usually comes with a catch. So today, we're unpacking exactly what that catch is when it comes to virtual private networks. To kick things off, let's just ask the most fundamental question. Why would everyday internet users actually need a VPN? You might think it's just a tool for tech experts, right? But honestly, it's becoming incredibly essential for regular folks too, especially if you're trying to bypass some pretty intense internet restrictions in places like China, Russia, or Turkey. If you want to access the open web from those locations, a VPN is literally your primary key. Here's our roadmap for today. First, what exactly is a VPN? Second, the benefits and the hidden drawbacks. Third, we'll look at the top 5 free options. And finally, the ultimate verdict on free VPNs.
Okay, part 1. What is a VPN? Let's demystify the tech.
At a really basic level, a virtual private network, or VPN, acts kind of like a digital mask. When you flip it on, it ensures your internet service provider, companies like Comcast or Verizon, has absolutely no idea what websites you're visiting. It basically carves out this secure, private tunnel for all your data to travel through. Think about standard browsing for a second. Both your internet provider and the websites you visit can see exactly who you are and where you're located. But with a VPN turned on, your ISP only sees a connection going to a VPN server. That's it. And the websites you visit, they only see the location of that server, completely masking your actual city and country. It's a pretty neat trick. Moving on to section 2, the benefits and those hidden drawbacks.
Just consider this massive number for a second. Over 7,000. That is the number of Netflix titles available if you happen to be in Slovakia, compared to under 6,000 here in the US. By routing your connection through Slovakia, you suddenly unlock an absolute mountain of new entertainment. I mean, that's a huge value add right there.
But the benefits actually go way beyond just entertainment. A VPN allows users to bypass strict local censorship. For example, content creators like Jeff Su, who's based out of China, rely heavily on VPNs just to access blocked sites like YouTube, the New York Times, or Facebook Messenger. And of course, it gives you crucial security and privacy. Though a quick heads up, the landscape is shifting. Some countries, like India, are now actually mandating that VPN services keep logs of your activity, so that could definitely impact the privacy benefit depending on where you are.
So here is the crucial point. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Adding that extra layer of security naturally introduces some drawbacks. Running the VPN app is going to consume extra system resources on your computer. But more importantly, routing your traffic through that extra server, that introduces latency. Simply put, your upload and download speeds are inevitably going to slow down. You're basically trading speed for privacy and access.
All right, section 3, the top 5 free options. Let's follow the money.
Our first option is Opera. This is a Chromium-based browser, kind of similar to Google Chrome, but it actually has a totally free VPN built right into its settings. Interestingly enough, Opera is currently owned by a consortium of Chinese investors, and, that's a country known for a lack of internet freedom, yet they offer this built-in VPN tool to their global users. It's a pretty fascinating paradox, right?
So, what exactly is the catch here? Well, running a free VPN costs real money. But Opera funds this generous feature through some very lucrative default search engine agreements. See, the free VPN attracts more users to download the browser, and a larger user base means they can charge search engines a lot more money for that default traffic. In fact, Microsoft Edge is testing this exact same model right now, and they're planning to offer a built-in VPN with 1 gigabyte of free data per month.
Next up, at number 2, we have Psiphon. This is a really fascinating tool specifically built by the Citizen Lab at the University of Toronto to combat internet censorship. It's incredibly lightweight too. Like if you're on Windows, it just runs straight from an executable file. You don't even need to do a full installation on your hard drive. But what's the trade-off for this one? While Psiphon lets you connect to multiple servers with uncapped data for totally free, their business model relies on 2 main things. First, they're going to serve you a pop-up browser ad the moment you connect, and second, they heavily throttle your connection speed. I mean, down to an absolute crawl, unless you buy their proprietary currency, which they call PC Cash, to unlock those faster speeds. So if you're okay with very slow browsing, it's a solid, genuinely free tool. Coming in at number 3, we have Proton VPN. This service is created by Proton Technologies AG.
They are the highly respected, hyper-privacy-focused team behind the end-to-end encrypted Proton Mail. Because they're based in Switzerland, they operate under some very strong privacy laws, which makes them a massive favorite for security enthusiasts.
To actually fund this, Proton utilizes a classic premium sales funnel. Basically, they hook you with one of the most generous, unlimited free data plans on the entire market. But as you use the app, they're constantly reminding you about the locked premium features, like way faster speeds and a lot more server choices. Their whole business model relies on the statistical hope that a certain percentage of free users will eventually just love the app enough to convert into paid subscribers.
Now for number 4, PrivadoVPN. Founded in 2019, this is a much younger company, but they're also based in Switzerland, drawn by those exact same strict local privacy laws we were just talking about. They also use that premium funnel model, but they structure their free offering in a totally different way.
Let's actually compare them directly to Proton VPN. Where Proton gives you unlimited data but really throttled speeds, Privado does the opposite. They cap your data limit to 10 gigabytes per month and limit you to just 12 servers. However, and this is a pretty big however, they give you the full blazing speed of their premium tier for those 10 gigabytes. It's a fantastic option if you care way more about speed than having unlimited data.
Finally, our 5th option is HotSpotShield, which is a Boston-based app owned by a company called Aura. Just like Proton and Privado, they're utilizing that premium sales funnel model, trying to convert free users over to paid users. But I gotta say, their approach to the free tier is drastically different.
You really need to take note of these severe restrictions. You are locked to just 500 megabytes of data a single day. While that technically adds up to 15 gigabytes a month, that daily limit is highly restrictive. On top of that, your maximum speed is capped at a super sluggish 2 megabits per second. And honestly, worst of all, you are limited to connecting to just one single server, and it's usually the one physically closest to your real location anyway. This completely ruins any chance of faking your location to unlock global entertainment like Netflix. It's really only good for very basic low-bandwidth web browsing.
Okay, Section 4, the final verdict on free VPNs. When you look at the big picture, it clearly shows that every single free service actually costs you something. Whether it's paid for by your default search traffic with Opera, your patience with Psiphon's ads and painfully slow speeds, or through strict data and server caps designed to push you straight into a premium sales funnel with Proton, Privado, and HotSpotShield. The software itself might be free, but you are absolutely compromising on speed, data, or convenience. Every time. So before you go and download any of these tools, you really need to ask yourself, what is your primary goal here? Are you trying to unlock Netflix in Slovakia, safely browse in a restrictive country, or just get some basic security while working at a local coffee shop? Your answer to that is going to completely dictate which hidden catch you should accept. But remember, the privacy landscape is always shifting. What's free today might end up costing your data tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.